John Liddle here for SWOSUathletics.com with a little volleyball preview for us this year, talking with Josh Collins, second-year head coach of the SWOSU volleyball program, and also star returner Alison Cole. Guys, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
It's nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
You got it. Now, Josh, we were talking about a little bit before we went on here, but last season, a real good finish in the conference, going 10-4, and then you get to the conference tournament, win your first round match, and then in that second one against an awesome Harding team, you take them right to the brink. So, how much did this season that we're approaching kind of start with the end of that match and how close you guys got last year?
I think that we developed a belief in that last match, and we slowly gained confidence as we went throughout the conference schedule, and ending on that note was pretty big for us. And going back into the locker room, obviously there's heartbreak and there's disappointment, but at the same time you could see it on the face of the returners that we have something special here.
Absolutely. You talked about 6, 7 returners coming back. That's a really, really good core to have. A lot of players that started significant amounts of time for you last year, and then you get a really good recruiting class in as well. Let's talk about the returners first. So you got Allison there, but 6 or 7 returners, that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a real good base for your program for years to come, isn't it?
Right. We're excited. We lost 2 that started a significant amount, but with the returners coming back, they have a real strong work ethic. Again, they have that belief, and they've kind of developed that family type atmosphere that we're looking for, that we're trying to build on, and I feel like they all really care about each other. They like to play together. They like to be around each other, which is something that we've really been working on. So I'm excited with our returners.
So how did that finish? How did the momentum that you took out of last year help you when you went out and you're looking to build this roster?
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of times when you're so far away, you feel like you don't work as hard. But when you get closer, I think that it's really boosted up our work ethic. And we worked hard last spring. Don't get me wrong, but this spring we really busted it, and we worked really hard. And every time we stepped in the gym, they wanted to go hard, and I didn't have to trick them into it or anything, which is nice. And then something that I've seen this summer is with players like Allison, strong leadership. I see them up here all the time. I see them running bleachers, and I can't require them to do anything. So that's all got to be on them, and they're really getting it done. So I'm excited about that.
We'll ask about your newcomers here in a minute, your class of signees that you're planning on bringing in here this fall. But let's get to Allison over here, because she's second team all-conference last year. Really a breakout year for her in her junior year. So, what do you look for her to do in her senior year to help you guys take that step?
Well, when Allison came in, she came in the summer like most transfers do. So she stepped right into the season without going through any kind of off-season training with us. And I think that she'll tell you the same thing, but the things that Coach Hyde had us doing in the weight room, and the things that we do in our conditioning and in our workouts, I feel like have made her, they've taken her to that next level as an athlete and as a volleyball player. Her vertical's higher, her swings are tougher, she's more dynamic at the net. So I look for big things, so no pressure.
Absolutely. And as we bring Allison in here, obviously there's always that transition period for a transfer student or whatever, but once you got past that, or I'll ask you this, what do you think was the turning point, if there was one, for you last year where your game kicked into another gear, so to speak?
I just think that, there wasn't a certain point, but I felt like everyone looked up to me, and I wanted to be that person to be looked up to in a way. So I wanted to lead by example, and I feel like I took that and ran with it and tried to take our team where it needed to go.
Not everybody wants to take that on. What makes you a person that wants to be looked to like that?
I've always been like that. I love the leadership role, and feel like I'm good at it, and I've been told that I am. So
excellent. Confidence really helps in that. So obviously there's a lot of confidence that you have, but As you try to improve on what you guys did last year, what do you think specifically? You heard Coach talk, but what do you think specifically you've been able to do this off season? You know, the spring part and now the summer part, to be able to improve your game.
To improve my game is just to get in the weight room a lot. I've been getting a lot stronger. I haven't had a good weight program before I came here, so that's done a lot for me. And we've been in the gym quite a bit and to improve my movements and my blocking and stuff. And I like that there's so many girls here this summer also because we're hanging out all the time, every day, and it, like he said, it helps with our family bonding and that kind of thing. So
it's really encouraging for, you know, SWOSU fans, Weatherford residents to see, I don't know, a transfer. You're from Kansas, correct?
Right.
And you know, come in and assimilate yourself so much into what goes on here at SWOSU. What do you think, I don't know, made you feel comfortable? Why did you feel comfortable here at Southwestern?
Oh, I don't know. The second I walked onto campus, I knew that this was the place where I was going to be. Coach made me feel so welcome, and everyone, you know, approached you, talked to you, and felt like they were really interested in you. And I feel like we have a lot of, you know, every sport is covers for each other and is really, you know, into each other. So I like that atmosphere too.
When you start to set goals for this 2013 fall season, where do you think you're going to start? Where is that going to start for you? This is the bare minimum of where we want to be as a team.
I don't know. My main goal is just to get that conference championship. That's all I want, and all the returners have that same, you know, mental aspect of it. And I think that we will get all of our, you know, new people coming in with that too. And that's just my goal, is to get that conference championship. I want that ring. So
you guys were incredibly close.
Yeah, we got a good taste of it. So.
You bet. And you guys took that team that, you know, everybody else thought was head and shoulders above everybody else, and you guys proved that you had an opportunity there to beat them. So when you think back on that night, what do you think about?
That night was awesome. I just watched film actually yesterday on it too, and it was so close. I can't even, and it's just like, we wanted that so bad, but it just gives us that much more like fight to win it this year.
Absolutely.
And we can. I know we will.
Absolutely.
So.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for talking with us. And if you have anything else to say, you can chime in at any time. You're doing a great job.
Right.
Talking with Alison Cole and Josh Collins from the SWOSU volleyball program. And Josh, it just feels like there's just that the volleyball program here, you know, thanks to what Coach Bo did, really starting it up, and now you coming in and taking over the program, it feels like it's on that precipice of doing something really, really great. Is that kind of how you feel right now?
I do, I do, and you know, I'm new at this, so I've been coaching for a while, you know, but I learn something every day. So you know, it's going to be interesting to go into this season where in the past we've always kind of been the underdogs trying to fight and claw our way up, and you know, we finished with the best record in Oklahoma, so I know there's a lot of Oklahoma schools, you know, after us, best conference record anyway. So I know that those guys are going to be after us, and you know, we were able to beat Arkansas Tech here, and they have an extremely strong program. They were a really good team last year. They finished second in the conference, and so I know that, you know, we'll have a target on our back when we walk into Russellville. So it's going to be interesting to see how our kids respond to the opposite side of things, where you know, just about every game last year we could walk in and say, all right, these guys are counting us out here, so go out and prove something. So now we have a chance to build on the success, and we have confidence, and I'm anxious to see how we respond to that. So I'll be learning again. It'll be a brand new role that I'm in as a coach as well. So I'm anxious to see how that goes.
As far as newcomers go, we started to touch on that a little bit, but you got 6 in, and you know, as far as a recruiting class goes, do you and Coach Bo as a whole, as he's been here for a while now, do you guys feel like this is one of the best ones that you've gotten over the course of SWOSU's history?
I feel like with the returners that we have and the people that we've added, this will be our strongest chance to win, without a doubt. You know, and some of that is just, you know, we've had tremendous athletes in the past, but I don't think that we had a strong core waiting on them to get here to kind of mold them into the thought that they need to have. You know, that it takes to be a conference champion or a contender at the Division II level. And I think that we have that now, so with that strong base here and that type of athlete that we're bringing in, I really feel like we could be special.
What's the first thing that you do when you bring these newcomers in? What are the core values that you instill in them as a coach? You know, and tell them, in order to fit in with this group, here's what you got to do.
Well, all of the kids that we had on the team this year are very strong students. I think that our team GPA ended up being somewhere around 3.4, so we're strong in the classroom, and obviously we talk about our expectations in the classroom right off the bat. And, you know, the chances of any of these girls getting paid to play volleyball after this are pretty slim. So we talk about, you know, volleyball's important, but there are some things that are more important than volleyball, and we kind of go over those first, and we talk about, you know, family and then also being good in our community, in the SWOSU community, and in the community of Weatherford. So we lay that out, and then after that we instill pretty quickly in practice that we're competitive, and if you're not competitive, well then it's not going to be much fun. And then we also talk a lot about just caring for one another. And, you know, if they don't care about the girl who's standing next to them, they're not going to give the effort that they will if they do. So we really try to instill that, try to instill a trust in each other, try to instill trust in me and our coaching staff, and go from there.
As far as your schedule goes this year, you're always going to have, obviously, the conference teams. But as far as what you put together outside of that, how challenging is this schedule this year?
It's tough. It's tough again, and that's something that I kind of wanted to change from last year, just because with so many new ones last year, I felt like we didn't ever have a chance to build any confidence because we played in such tough tournaments. This year, it'll be a little bit better. I feel like with the team that we have a whole lot more chances to be successful early on. And I think that if we could really build some confidence in our first tournament, we could string out some wins. And you know, we meet up with West Texas A&M pretty early, and Texas A&M Kingsville. We're actually playing West Texas in a late game, and they have a very impressive program. And I think that if they don't have the attendance record in Division II volleyball, they're real close. So we'll play in front of a packed house. It'll be a conference championship type atmosphere. So, you know, that'll be a tough one for us, but I definitely have that start on my schedule. I'm excited about it, excited to see how we compete with them. And then, you know, we'll play some very tough teams and get rolling in conference, and then we go to that MIAA GAC crossover in Missouri. We'll play a lot of MIAA schools, and they are very tough, very tough. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and we encourage everybody to come out. Rankin Williams here and see the girls play. You know, going to be closing it down volleyball-wise, right, Coach?
Last season in Rankin Williams.
That's right. That's right. Need the Rankin Rowdies out in full force.
Exactly.
Let's set that D2 attendance record. Let's blow West Texas out of the water. That's what I say.
Let's do it.
Exactly. Well, for our great guests here today, thank you, Allison. We appreciate your time very much. We're going to have to talk to you a little bit more later. You have a future in this. Did you want to get into broadcasting? Did you know before now that you wanted to do that? What's your major, by the way?
Not sports management.
Okay. Well, that's that's an outgoing thing. So.
Used to it.
Exactly. Allison's got a future in something. We're not sure what yet, but sports management, it sounds really, really good. And Josh, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Josh Collins, Alison Cole. I'm John Liddle for SWOSUathletics.com.